Oh my god, imagine dancing at a concert where there's music playing. Oh my god.
Gonna make you cry, gonna go so deep down the water.
Look, I know you've been waiting hours and hours at the barricades and I only just got here, but I'm going to push right in front of you just because I can. Thank you, move out of my way. I am only at this concert because I want TikTok content.
That footage you're seeing from earlier today?
It's just absolutely bloody ridiculous, mate. Like, genuinely,
I went to go sit down to edit and have a little bit of a Nando's for the first time in a very long time. And the file was completely corrupted. So I really hope that you appreciate the look that I did from earlier. It took me 2 hours because I am really shaky and not that good with lines. Merch is also currently available. The link to that will be in the description box below. Now, I just want to quickly say that the diversity in sizing isn't quite present just for the moment, as I am doing this all myself. It is very stressful and I really want to gauge what kind of sizing people would want in the future. As I explained on my Instagram story yesterday, that I don't really want to produce any clothing that's just gonna go to waste. So we need to do this as ethical as possible. I would be wearing my shirt right now, but I got barbecue sauce all over it and I'm embarrassed. Don't let me around no sauce. I'm spilling it all over myself. I feel like a lot of consideration that people had for one another completely went out the window after the pandemic. Crossing a pedestrian cross? Person sitting in the car behind the wheel really is thinking about running you over because you took 1 second too long. Yes, that did happen to me the other day. I almost got run over because, yes, the tow saga actually didn't end. It is still painful. So like, I'm so sorry I can't walk properly, ma'am. Or how about laughing in public? People who have got absolutely no joy in their lives are just annoyed and frustrated by your mere presence. But we're not here today to talk about any of the above. Rather, how concert etiquette has completely gone down the drain along with people's consideration for their fellow humans around them. Main character syndrome seems to be playing such a huge theme in this topic of conversation, where it's like people only care about themselves nowadays. They don't really care about anybody else around them. It's all about them. It's all about what they want to do. Oh, I mean, I can do this. It's not illegal. Okay, Suzanne, just because it's not illegal to stand on chairs in the floor section doesn't mean you should stand on them. Being overly excited and happy to see your favorite performer has been confused with the obnoxious and unpleasant behavior that people present whenever they're to go to concerts. Can we all learn concert etiquette again? This girl started a domino effect, and when we told her to sit down, she said, "We're at a concert." Well, yeah, that's why if you want to go stand, there's a general admission pit option. Okay, this may be controversial, alright? But I am of the belief that if you want to stand in the seating section, stand up, babe. Stand up, diva. Unless, however, you are told by event staff to sit the F down, or the performer themselves are like, hey, let's just sit down for this one. It's going to be a slow, sad one, so you might want to hug and cry with your mum. Then yeah, sit down. But if everybody around you is standing up in the seating sections, which always happens if you're a frequent concert goer, there's not really much that you're able to do. The seating sections at concerts, at gigs, shows, events, whatever you want to call them, the most accessible tickets to buy, right? Because you'll have fans who have been queuing up and there the general admission tickets go. So what am I supposed to do now? Just not come at all? This actually took place when I was trying to get tickets to go to Grey Day this year. I signed up for pre-sale, I was in the queue, and yet I didn't get general admission. Do you know how heartbroken I was, bro? The last time Ruby and Scrim were performing in Australia was when I was 16, and it was an 18+ event. But here's the unfortunate part about going to concerts though. You're in a way signing up for people to stand in the seating sections because who wants to be sat straight-faced listening to their favorite band artist live?
Well, drama queen, you should have gotten floor tickets.
Have you seen the prices of floor tickets nowadays? Ticketmaster and their greedy price gouging asses don't want us to be on the floor. Only people with the money, only people who are willing to push the rent back a couple weeks. Like, what? But now let's get over to the consideration part, right? So if somebody behind you is asking you to sit down because you are the only one in this particular seating section that's standing up, you should probably take that person's feelings into consideration. I mean, you're kind of going to be obstructing other people's views from behind if everybody else is sat down. But for some people, there's also that factor of like, a random stranger behind me is telling me to sit down. No, actually, I'm gonna rebel against that. How dare they ask me? Do they know who I am to sit down? Because here's the thing, right? It's completely different if everybody else in that section is standing up. I'm sorry, Stacey, I'm not going to be sitting down. Everybody else is standing up and I don't see you asking everybody else to sit down. I've considered your feelings. I feel really bad for you that you're 5 foot nothing, but I can't do anything about that. You need to go have a word with your parents, mate. Okay? Your genes are not my genes. Again, it becomes inconsiderate if everybody else is sad, but you're just like, no, I'm going to stand because I paid $30 to be here. Like, all right, just like the rest of us. I think it personally becomes inconsiderate when everybody else is sad, but you're standing because you can. I can also steal my neighbor's dog because he's cute. Doesn't mean it's right to do. I was joking about that one. Alright. Here's where standing becomes a big fat issue. Standing on chairs when you are already on the floor is inconsideration for those around you at its finest. You're not only intentionally obstructing people's view to benefit yourself by getting the millionth photo of Taylor Swift, but I always hear, well, I'm so short, I need to stand on chairs so that I can see. I sympathize with you and I empathize with you heavily that you're a little shorty, okay? This is coming from a 5'8" goddess, which is like not that tall, but it is pretty tall. I can see quite fine at concerts. Sorry, not sorry. But it's like, all right, then you probably should not have gotten floor tickets then. I know, it sucks, doesn't it? But these are the risks that you take going to concerts. There are going to be so many different shaped and sized people in the crowd, and you can't really control that. And look, I have friends who frequent gigs and concerts that are very tall individuals, and so they always have short people asking them, hey, do you mind if I just stand in front of you because I can't see anything? And because these people ask nice enough, my friends are like, yeah, like, sure, go ahead. Not everybody is going to be as nice and just allow short people to stand in front of them because they paid to be there too. But in my opinion, it becomes a whole different issue than just blocking other people's views behind you, but also safety. You could possibly fall over, accidentally tip over onto somebody else who didn't ask for that to happen. I'm 4'10". It's not a want, it's a need. Again, I sympathize with you, shorties. It must be a really annoying thing to put up with that you're literally shorter than everybody attending these concerts. But when it becomes a matter of safety, when it becomes a matter of now you're obstructing other people's views behind you, maybe it's not the best thing to do. Somebody actually responded to that comment basically being like, well, why don't you just buy seat tickets then? Why do you have to buy the floor if you know you're really short and you can't see? What? I don't buy my concert tickets. I'm always gifted them. So again, it's not a want, it's a need. Then you need to tell the people who are buying you concert tickets, buy me stadium seat tickets, please. I am short. You guys know I am short. I can't see. As it's like not all concerts have seats on the floor. So I'm really confused here. Yes, guys, it is selfish to stand on chairs and obstruct people's views from behind you, as well as now cause a safety concern. You are putting people in harm's way and yourself too, because you might fall over, you might lose balance because they're
concert seats.
Unfortunately, you do need to be mindful of the people around you. I know it's really hard thinking about other people's feelings, but I feel like some people should honestly try it out. Standing in the seating sections, we've got to see what the vibe is. Is everybody else standing up, or are we all sat? Maybe sat your ass down. Standing on chairs, it's always going to end up in a bad situation for everybody around you. So maybe don't. Now, recording yourself flash facing towards yourself for a TikTok can be, for a lot of people, incredibly annoying and inconsiderate of the people around you who may not want to be in your TikTok. There's this trend that has been on the rise on TikTok for quite some time now, and it is where main character syndrome kind of comes into play, right? It all really took off when Tube Girl came about on TikTok, and because social media has become increasingly narcissistic and self-obsessed, literally by the hour, making videos of yourself at a concert is one of the main reasons why people will attend one. Yes, to make TikTok content. And honestly, I think it's completely fine to do a 15-second video feeling yourself in the moment at a concert, as having the technology we do today allows us to be able to look back on the moments for years to come. It does become a little bit of a strange issue where it's like, you're not even living in the moment, you're not even enjoying the music at this point, you're just so focused on capturing content for TikTok, because it goes beyond trying to preserve memories of yourself and how you looked lip syncing to a song at a concert for years to come, but rather exclusively caring about the social media validation of it all. I am quite literally still anxious to take photos of myself out in public because I'm like, oh my god, this feels so like self-sucky. I feel like I'm like gawking my own butt. And it's like, yeah, we do all kind of care about our phones a little too much to some extent. Some more than others. And we can definitely see that being present whenever you're behind somebody who doesn't care about what's going on around them. Only what their TikTok feed is going to look like later. Only caring about creating content of themselves at a concert instead of enjoying what's in front of you. You can create your TikToks at home, but it's not exactly like you have Adele at home. But we will be getting into the Travis Scott of it all a little later. Don't you worry, yappers. And putting the dystopianness of exclusively attending a concert just to get TikTok content of yourself. Some people genuinely aren't doing it for TikTok content and will be grouped in with the people who are doing it for TikTok content. It's like, yes, you want to take full advantage of the money that you spent and the time that you took out to go to a concert. I get that. But I'm not so sure of taking full advantage of the people around you whilst doing so. It takes one mean looking girl in the background of a TikTok video and everybody is trying to contact their workplaces, their school, their family to bully and harass them like, why were you looking at that pretty girl like that? What do you mean? What do you mean? The quote unquote mean looking girl doesn't want to be in a TikTok video. That is completely valid to me. And it's like, yes, personally, I am completely fine being in the background of somebody's photos or videos, but I do not speak for everybody. The only reason I'm okay with that is because I'm already on social media myself. I'm already used to putting content out there for however many people to see, but I'm not everybody. It's not the act of one filming themselves that's necessarily the problem, it's the inconsideration for those around you. What I will say, something that I have noticed that I find to be quite irritating. Dude, do you remember being a tween? Do you remember being a teenager and how cringe you were? I know that I was of the ultimate cringe when I was a tween, when I was a teenager. People have been posting videos of minors doing this kind of behavior and shaming them as people who are just doing it for TikTok content. Regardless of your thoughts on that, me personally, I think, you should put your phone down and enjoy what's in front of you. Again, I'm also not everybody. You can have your own opinions. Anybody with a working noggin then should know that when you're a literal tween teenager going to see Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift, you're probably going to act a little bit cringe. Who cares? They're only just literal kids trying to participate in trends that their favorite TikTok idols are doing on TikTok. You could argue that it's a little bit of a lame concert TikTok trend, but dude, what do you expect 12-year-olds to do? Do you want them to act as sad and statue-like as you? Which, by the way, I do not shame the statues at concerts. I get it. I get it. The amount of people who are filmed in the crowds dancing a little bit funny get posted all over TikTok and boom, they now become a viral meme that they didn't ask to become. Signs have always been a part of pop culture and a really important thing for the fans to do. Showing their favorite artists, bands, and/or performers, hey dude, I love you! I'm here to support you. Can you please look at my sign and wave at me and acknowledge my existence? But if you're gonna constantly be that person holding up a big ass sign for the duration of the show, be very aware that people are gonna get pissed and want to snatch it off of you so that they can see in front of them too. It's easy for the people in the front row section to be so unbothered by holding up their signs in front of everybody else. But dude, I will rip that from your hands. I don't care how much time you spent on that. It's probably going to go in the bin anyways after the show's done. Most of the time anyways, the performers aren't even able to acknowledge that you brought a sign. Why do we have to hold up the sign for the entire duration of the show? Put it down! You're holding a Lana flag at a Lana concert! It's one thing holding up a sign saying, I love you, Lana. I am gooning to your songs every single night. You are my queen. You are my sunshine. You are my diva queen, babe. I see the significance of that. You are getting that flag in other people's faces, only thinking about your damn self. I remember before the pandemic, being selfish used to be looked at as a terrible thing, but nowadays, that behavior is encouraged. The self-entitled, self-serving, just me. We somehow need to get it all out of our systems because, yes, the saying is true. The world technically doesn't revolve around us. Like, I don't care how much you love Lana Del Rey or how much her brand new album saved your life. You waving that flag and it touches my full beat, you're getting a full beat. Like, I get it. You're likely wanting Lana to see you're supporting her by waving her flag around in the crowd, but let's be real, she can't can see you and now you're only just affecting the people's experiences of the concert around you. And I'm sorry, but you cannot be mad if somebody gets really upset and is like, this flag just keeps flapping in my face, I am snatching that and it's my flag now. And on top of that, you are so far away that to her view, you're a literal crumb in the sea of chips. Now let's talk about Travis Scott's Australian tour and how just egregiously annoying it is having to pay exorbitant ticket prices, then fees on top of that, only to have people who paid $30 for a seat just completely storm the floor. And let me just get this out of the way before anybody tries me as a mean person who doesn't want somebody to have an amazing concert experience. When you start tripping random girls over to laugh with the boys at a Travis Scott concert, you need to go back up to your seat, Jacob. When you are spitting in the faces of security guards who happen to be women, you need to be sat the down. I absolutely hate the fact that nowadays, for a lot of people's first concert experiences, they're like, wow, I hate this. People just act like animals. And then when security tries their absolute hardest to rein in the herd of really just crazed people at the end of the day. They fight back, they spit in their faces, and it's so sad to see, especially because security usually gets quite understaffed at these kinds of concerts. Because greedy artists and really greedy management teams behind them exist. They don't want to fork out the money for however many security guards, and we end up with situations like we have been seeing this past week in Melbourne, in Sydney. I just have to say, shame on y'all. Y'all look so stupid. I hope it was worth tripping those girls over for a funny little laugh for the boys because you're so red-pilled and you're so base cunt. But this new $30 Ticketmaster method to just buy a ticket for the seats and then storm to the floor is just gonna make me feel like I've been scammed. Are you serious? I had to pay $200 to be on the floor, and now some wit who paid $30 is here right next to me. I want my money back. I'm sorry, I want my money back. People were saying how this is a net positive thing in scamming Ticketmaster for their greedy antics. Like, who raised these kids to be so annoyingly ignorant to the point where they're throwing trash back and forth, crowd surfing a part of the barricade, all for what? Your daddy Travis Scott is chilling in his green room, comfortable as all shit, watching y'all drawn out. Full bots in the audience here. And it's quite literally actually scary to see, because if people are acting this way now, could you imagine what it's gonna be like when Gen Alpha start attending shows? And I hate to sound all like boomerish, but genuinely, what is this kind of behavior? Where did this come from? Screeching every single lyric of a song and making it so that you're the only one that's heard and not the singer is painfully awful for the ears to bear witness to. I don't really see a reason as to why you need to be acting like you're having a full-blown exorcism crisis in the crowd, blowing out people's ears. If Taylor Swift herself isn't screeching like she just found the glory that is of Norwegian black metal, then keep your vocals intact and pipe down, because I really don't want to hear that, man. My ears are already just in pain from everything around me. And now I have to listen to some dickhead just going, and it's like, I have no problem listening to people sing along to all of the songs that are being sung that night. Every single lyric, every single second, go right ahead. I'm gonna be doing the same thing too, babes. But do we need to be doing it like this? Really? I genuinely think some people have gotten way too used to being by themselves that they believe everyone around them needs to put up with their shit. Oh, but I paid this money, so I'm allowed to do this, that, and the third. No, you not. Just because you pay money to be at a concert doesn't mean that you need to just go ahead and act like a wild animal. Yes, you are allowed to screech every single second to every single lyric of every single song that night. Yes, you are allowed to hold up signs blocking everybody's view behind you. Yes, you're allowed to wave flags in front of people's faces and make them really uncomfortable. Does that mean you should? Probably not. I can say and do many things right this minute that most well-adjusted people would think is wrong. Why is it so hard to just look out for the people who are around you? Yes, they're strangers. Yes, you don't know them, but kindness goes such a long way. Why is our default mechanism just to act like a complete to everybody around us? Pick up people when they fall in the crowd. Don't just step all over them. Don't hold signs up for the entire duration of a show because people behind you may be too uncomfortable to be like, could you please put that down? You're literally blocking our views. Or how about the lads kind of guys who just punch and push in front of you to get as close as they can to the artist performing? Literally happened to me a couple of years going to see Liam Gallagher. I had one of the lads kind of guys punch me with his fist in my boob, and it hurt so much. And I hit back. I punched him back, and he was like, what? Wanting to start a fight, bro? I don't want to start a fight. You just hurt me for no reason. Where are people's consideration? Where is the etiquette? And a lot of the reason why it goes completely down the drain for some people is because they can't control their liquor. don't record people and the way they're choosing to enjoy the music within the crowd to then post it online later and make fun of them, turn them into a viral meme, because that is actually one thing that I didn't touch on. Can we actually stop doing that? For real? I come across videos all the time of people who may be dancing a little bit funny, maybe bobbing their head a little bit too much. Who the cares? We're all here for the same reason. We're all trying to enjoy music, and you making fun of somebody for how they're moving their body is so cringe. You'll know how much I hate using that word because it just is overused for literally anything. I mean, why are you so focused on recording somebody in the crowd when the artist is literally right there performing? Oh no, this dude looks really weird dancing. Way to make other people feel really weird for dancing too. I can't tell you how many times as a really anxious person I have been in the pit, or I've been in a crowd and I'm just like really scared to dance because I'm so just like unco and awkward and I don't know how to dance. And if I get posted onto TikTok because I look really strange trying to, you know, feel out my bones, feel out my body, I am never going to a concert again. Like it's just as simple as that. And people have come forward anonymously and said that they just can't go to a concert ever again because all they're thinking about in the back of their minds is that somebody over there is going to see how stupid they look trying to dance, trying to feel the beat of the music. We don't do that. Let's stop doing that altogether as well. So we're going to leave it here today, everybody. Tell me about your negative concert etiquette experience down in the comments section below, because I know just how bad concert etiquette has gotten nowadays. But don't you worry, there will be a part 2 to all this mess. Thank you for your stay at Yappersville today, everybody. I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves, and most of all, love your fucking selves.